Thanks very much. If I can comment from the sort of regulatory perspective above all, one of the things I want to say, having looked at several of the sectoral reports, is that it seems to me, in the spirit of what Ronan has already said, in the energy sector, I would like to say it's not that you're missing something. I think you've done a great job by emphasizing two things that have been less well emphasized in some other parts of this exercise. The first is the benefits. I think that in the energy sector, you've very clearly laid out the need to use AI almost urgently, especially if we want to make the climate shift. And the second piece is what I called at the opening session of our 2 days, adaptive regulation, where you use very clearly, in the middle of your summary slide, continuous evaluation to address emerging issues. And I think this future-proof design principle is one which you have found clearly in the energy sector, but which exists really everywhere. And as a result, you've also put emphasis on things which Professor Floridi was talking about at the beginning, auditability. And in your K4 recommendations, you talk about that, standards, and perhaps one of the most impressive pieces, which Afzal talked about, AI for regulators, AI as a tool to make markets better. So I think that whole set of issues is immensely powerful. And I'm not an energy expert. When I think about, for example, the current Commission's call for hydrogen valleys, for deployment of green hydrogen in new build cities or in refurbishment, so many of the things about trust building, as Ronan has talked about, but also this continuous evaluation, evolving the system alongside building the system. I think that that's a piece which you could valuably as a team extract from what you're saying, because it has transversal importance. You've exemplified it for energy, but I do think that it's a very powerful insight in other sectors as well. So nobody pays me to say this, so I really want to say well done, but I think it indicates, as always, the penalty for good work is more work. It indicates a piece of transversal thinking that could be very interesting to engage between what you've spotted with other sectors and say, how does it work there? But thank you very much for the opportunity to briefly contribute.